Picture this. Your heart stops. The rhythm of life, gone. The world around you dissolves into shadow. And then, a light. Not soft, not gentle, but blinding, searing, swallowing you whole. Is this the end? Or is it something else? Something more? 1,200 years ago, high in the frozen peaks of Tibet, mystics scratched a guide into existence. A map for the dead, a whisper from beyond. They called it the Bardo Thodol, the Tibetan Book of the Dead. For centuries, it's promised to reveal what lies on the other side. But here's the shiver down your spine. What if science, cold, hard science, is starting to nod in agreement? Tonight we stand at the edge of the abyss. We peer into the darkness. What happens when your brain shuts down? Stay with me, if you dare. The Bardo Thodol isn't just a book. It's a voice from the shadows, a secret passed from monk to monk, chanted over the dying as their breaths turned to frost in the Himalayan air. It's not a story of peace or paradise. It's a guide through chaos, a roadmap for a soul untethered, lost between worlds. The Tibetans say death isn't one moment, but three. 3 bardos, 3 trials. First comes the Chikhai bardo, the moment of death. As your body fails, a light erupts, pure, dazzling, unbearable. They say it's the essence of reality itself, stripped bare. Blink and you miss it. Cling to fear and you fall. Then the Chonyid bardo, the realm of visions. Here the mind unravels. Gods and demons rise from the void, some radiant, some grotesque, their eyes burning into you. They're not there to judge. They're you, your thoughts, your fears, your life, twisted into shapes too wild to name. Finally, the Sidpa bardo, the pull, a hunger for a new body, a new life, or a plunge into nothingness. The Tibetans believed this was the journey of every soul. For centuries, they whispered these words to the dying, guiding them through the storm. But what if this isn't just a tale spun by candlelight? What if this ancient text, buried in time, is more than myth? What if it's a mirror to something science is only now beginning to see? Let's step out of the mist and into the sterile glow of the laboratory. Science doesn't deal in gods or demons. It deals in facts, cold, measurable, undeniable. And yet, when it comes to death, the facts start to sound familiar. In 2013, researchers at the University of Michigan decided to watch death up close. Not in humans, not yet, but in rats. They hooked them to machines, tracked every signal, and waited. The moment their tiny hearts stopped, something happened. Something unexpected. For 30 seconds, 30 eternal seconds, their brains didn't fade. They erupted. A storm of electricity surged through their skulls, stronger than when they were alive. The scientists called it hyperconsciousness, a final blazing flare before the dark. And humans? We're not so different. Doctors who've pulled people back from the brink, cardiologists, neurologists, they've heard the stories, the ones who die and return. They speak of a light, not a flicker, not a glimmer, but a radiance so fierce it drowns everything else, just like the Chikhai bardo. They describe leaving their bodies, hovering, watching the chaos below. And then, the visions, tunnels, faces, a rush of images, beautiful, terrifying, impossible. One survivor said it felt like a parade of everything I'd ever known, twisted into something I couldn't escape. Sound familiar? The Chonyid bardo, the realm of visions, painted not in scripture, but in the firing of dying neurons. But why? What's happening in that final flicker? Science has a theory. As the brain senses its end, it floods itself with chemicals. Oxygen drops and the gates open. Some point to DMT, dimethyltryptamine, the spirit molecule. It's the same compound that fuels psychedelic trips, visions of other worlds. In labs, it's been shown to spike in stress, in death. Maybe it's the mind's last gift, or its last trick, a cascade of hallucinations, vivid enough to birth gods and demons from thin air. And as the brain dims further, that pull, the Sidpa Bardo, could it be the body's fading urge to survive, to cling to something, anything? This is where science stands, on the edge of a discovery it can measure, but not yet explain. The Bardo Thodol saw it first, 1,200 years ago, with no machines, no scans. It mapped a journey we're only now tracing in labs. Coincidence? Or something deeper? But here's where the chill sinks into your bones. Science can track the brain's last gasp. It can chart the light, the visions, the pull. But it stops right at the cliff's edge. That final burst of activity, does it fade to black, a candle snuffed out forever? Or does it drift somewhere else? The Bardo Thodol doesn't hesitate. It says consciousness moves on, a traveler unshackled, stepping into the next Bardo. For centuries, that was faith. Now, some scientists aren't so sure it's fiction. Dr. Sam Parnia, he's a name you should know, a resuscitation expert at NYU Langone. He spent years studying the line between life and death. His AWARE studies track people whose hearts stop, sometimes for hours, only to restart. And when they wake, they tell tales. They describe the room, the doctors, the tools, details they shouldn't know, details from when their brains were flatlined. Parnia doesn't claim proof of an afterlife, but he asks, if the mind dies with the brain, how do they see? And then there's the fringe, the wild edge of science. Quantum physicists whisper about consciousness in ways that sound unsettlingly close to the Bardos. They talk of particles entangled across space, of information that doesn't vanish but shifts. Some, like Roger Penrose, wonder if the mind isn't just flesh, but something woven into the fabric of the universe itself. If they're right, the Sidpa Bardo, that pull to rebirth, might not be a myth. It might be physics we don't yet grasp. So here we stand. The Tibetans, with their chants and scrolls, saw a journey, a light, a storm, a crossing. Science, with its probes and data, sees sparks in the dark. Are they the same? When your brain shuts down, is it the end? Or a door creaking open? A door you can't unsee? A door that's waiting for you? The Bardo Thodol doesn't offer comfort. It offers truth, a truth carved in the ice of Tibet, now echoing in the hum of machines. Science is clawing closer, one study, one scan at a time. But the question remains, cold, heavy, unavoidable. When your heart stops, when your brain shuts down, what waits in that silence? Is it darkness or a light too vast to hold? This is just the beginning. The abyss is calling and we're not done peering in. Subscribe now. Hit that bell. Because next time we go deeper into the science, the visions, the unknown. What's waiting for you on the other side?